So I'm Claire. I write books and narrate audiobooks under the name C.S.E. Cooney. I am one of your guests of honor at this CONvergence that has made me so happy and feel so lucky to be here. And sometimes, oh, thank you. Sometimes I write songs under the name Brimstone, Rhine. And there's a reason for that, because I dreamed of a rock star named Brimstone Rhine once, and when I woke up I thought that was just too good of a name to let slide back into my subconscious. I dreamed she would, this is how she performed. I'm not her, so I can say this. She wore a pair of bright pink underwear that had a Superman symbol on them, and then a black veil that had like glitter in it, and she would hold the veil so that none of her naughty bits were showing. Just her bright pink super bit, and she just sang like this the whole time, very fiercely. And she always wore her hair up in this like huge bouffant bun. And when she didn't want people to look at her, she would just bring her black veil up here, and so all it was sticking out was her bun. And so her techies, like her roadies, would like teasingly call her behind her back the Headless Bride. And she heard that and she got really angry. So she wrote an album called The Headless Bride to punish them. And I woke up, I was like, Brimstone Rhine, The Headless Bride. This is so weird. Now I have to write an album. It was like a fake album. Like I wrote fake lyrics to a fake album, and then I thought, but I can't just let it go. Like I have to crowdfund for it and collaborate with musicians to tell me what key I'm in. And that's what I did. Then I met Carlos around this time, as I was like, how do you crowdfund? How even musician? And he was like, oh, I've done some crowdfunding to some success. I could help you. And Google, and I later learned it was like for tens of thousands of dollars for a video game called Merryweather that he was one of the writers on. I was like, oh, he's gonna be on my team. And he's been on my team ever since. He even plays the ukulele for me. He plays the ukulele for me because I do not play the ukulele. And so this song that we're going to start with dates back to the early days of our courtship, when I wanted to express to him how I liked him so much that I felt like an apex predator who really wanted to eat professors for their dinner. So I wrote this song called Apex Predators and made him learn how to play it. All right, we'll start. I'm a sexy, sexy monster, and my praise the professoriate. Well, my praise wherever you are at, in your crazy khaki pants, how I love to make you dance, babe, you never stood a chance. Apex predators are the prettiest of all. Apex predators always hold you in their thrall. First we make you run, then curl up into a ball, sweet and small. Then we poke you till you crawl. I'm a sexy, sexy monster, and my prey is academia. Should I fry you or just steam ya? In your button-up plaid shirt, watch you bubble in the dirt. Not quite dead, but mortal hurt. Apex predators rule the sea and skies. Apex predators like the geeky egghead guys. Genius is the spice in our bookworm berry pies. The surprise of a scholar when he dies. I'm a sexy, sexy monster, and my prey is pedagogic brains. Babe, you really give me hunger pangs. All those papers left to grade, they're like roughage ready-made, makes digestion smooth as suede. Apex predators hunt by night and day. Apex predators see the whole world as their prey. Really ought to love us or we'll eat you en flambe. Well, okay, I'd eat you anyway. Babe, okay, I'll eat you anyway. So then, yada, 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 he married me. The next song is called the Fox Girl Song Cycle 1 from Carnivora. So this came about because we crowdfunded for my first two EPs, Electo, which is all mythological songs about women in history and myth that I thought were given a bit of the shaft and I wanted to shine a new light on them, and The Headless Bride, which is more carnival, nightmare, funtastic. And the level of backers who backed those two EPs at $100, I said, I'll write you a song, thinking like maybe 5 people of my closest family members would, but more people did than I thought. And so then I had this whole album of songs that, more songs that I'd written initially for the 2 EPs, of songs, of music. So I did a backers album called Corbeau Blanc, Corbeau Noir. And one woman backed that $100 level 3 times, so I wrote her 3 songs, and she very much associated with the fox girl mythology. So I researched it. I love the kitsune, and the fox is a trickster. And as I researched it, I kept getting angrier and angrier because so much of fox girl is a trickster. It's like, oh yeah, this woman, she thinks for herself. Oh, she's showing signs of being dangerous. She said no to her husband. And I was like, oh, yeah, let's kill the fox girl. She's a demon. And I was like, oh man, I don't like that. And so the 3 song cycles of the fox girl go from this one, Carnivora, to the second one, which is like, I don't care what you call me, my name means awake. And she's like, she kind of sheds off the skin of what other people think a fox girl is. And the third is just like, I'm dancing, I'm a fox girl, but this is the first one, it's the angriest. And you're welcome to join in on the refrain. We start out with the refrain, so I'll just sing it twice, and you can jump in if you want, you're welcome to. So here it goes. Trap her in thorn and she'll slip her skin. Drown her in water, she'll learn to swim. Burn her, she'll turn into smoke and wind. Think you can catch her? Well, think again. We'll do that again. Trap her in thorn and she'll slip her skin. Drown her in water, she'll learn to swim. Burn her, she'll turn into smoke and wind. Think you can catch her? Well, think again. Fox demon, foxy face, fox girl don't know their place. Marry her, bury her, water her bones. Set your sons over her, let them to spy on her. Hound her and harry her, pelt her with stones. Trap her in thorn and she'll slip her skin. Drown her in water, she'll learn to swim. Burn her, she'll turn into smoke and wind. Think you can catch her? Well, think again. Cunning, conniving, a vixen, a villain, she'll pull out your liver and eat it with rice. Fingers for turnips and bowls full of maggots, your blood in her wine glass runs colder than ice. Yeah. Trap her in thorn and she'll slip her skin. Drown her in water, she'll learn to swim. Burn her, she'll turn into smoke and wind. Think you can catch her? Well, think again. The wide world over, they all try to tame her like Lilith and Lamia, serpent and whore. Arcane, she is dangerous, ever the demoness. Black widow, blood shadow, thirsty for more. Trap her in thorn and she'll slip her skin. Drown her in water, she'll learn to swim. Burn her, she'll turn into smoke and wind. Think you can catch her? Well, think again. Seductive illusion, all craft and confusion. She'll tuck up her tail and take to the wood. She'll duck as you're nearing her. Fuck you for fearing her. Fox girls are clever and up to no good. At least so they tell me, she's up to no good. But do I believe them? I don't think I should. Trap her in thorn and she'll slip her skin. Drown her in water, she'll learn to swim. Burn her, she'll turn into smoke and wind. Think you can catch her? Well, think again. Trap her in thorn and she'll slip her skin. Drown her in water, she'll learn to swim. Burn her, she'll turn into smoke and wind. Think you can catch her? Well, think again. Think again. Think again. Think again. So the next song is also on the Backers album, and a woman backed, and we've been kind of friends online for a while. She wrote for a jousting magazine. So those of you who are into the Renaissance Festival here, which I know is a big deal, I haven't been yet to the Minnesota one, but she wrote for a jousting magazine. Her spouse was a jouster, and she expressed that she was mostly had to stay home due to a disability, but if she could, she'd love to work with women who are escaping domestic abuse and to help them get them on their feet again. So those were the things I was thinking about when I wanted to write her this particular song called Lady Night Pale Lady. The Lady Night stood on a hill, her eyes grave as the thunder, and down upon the vale she gazed, where brave flew all the banners. Lords and ladies gathered there in silks and broidered velvet, and round about their wrists they wore the finest golden leashes. Hawks and hounds and panthers rare were bound by gilded shackles. Meek and mild and tame withal, they ne'er did show their hackles. But in the kingly tent enthroned a sovereign, rich and haughty, and to his wrist all bound in gold there was a pale lady. Come, my friends, come gather round, the sovereign roared so brazen. A tourney shall we hold today, the pride shall be this maiden. And to the lists there flocked a dozen handsome lords and princes. Mirror bright their helmets shone, their mighty horses prancing. How strong were some with sword and shield, how scrupulous the archers, how silken, supple, quick and true those few who fenced with rapiers. And some their lances lean and long competed in the tourney to strike like lightning smites the oak and woo this gentle lady. But one who wielded sword and shield proved staunch and unbeleaguered, whose every target arrow found, who ne'er a match conceded. And at the hast eluded proved, no prince could e'er unseat her. Unparalleled at every tilt, no spear did dare defeat her. O lordly knight, O champion, the king cried bluff and blithely, remove thy helm and bend thy knee, receive from me my lady. The lady knight removed her helm, her breastplate and her gauntlet, but from her high horse never stirred, nor did the king acknowledge. But lo, the pale lady stood, cast off her bracelet golden, and to her gaze there sprang a gleam as fierce as any falcon. This lady knight has won me king, she battled for my honor. By bruise and blood she bought my chains, I no more am your daughter. O lady knight, what would you ask of one who is your debtor? Oh, nothing, said the lady knight, except you walk unfettered. So the next song comes from a science fiction folk musical that I've been working on with a couple friends, a previous guest of honor of CONvergence, Amel Elmotar, my friend Caitlin Paxson. We used to, along with Patty Templeton, sometimes do group readings and singings called under the banner of the Banjo Apocalypse Crinoline Troubadours. And some of the things that we worked up was this idea of a sci-fi idea, a concept album, where some miners in West Virginia in the 19th century were sold into slavery to aliens, alien abductors by the company bosses, which of course they would have done that, they did worse. And I was thinking, like, hundreds of years later, or thousands, something comes back from outer space that is a record of those miners and their families who were abducted, and the songs that came out of that abduction, that travel across space, that are reseeding the planet where they were sent to work, and how the stories from Earth, like the stories of Scheherazade and the 1001 Nights, or Grimm's fairy tales, or like old miner ballads, how they changed in the telling with this alien abduction kind of informing them. So this one is one of the abduction ballads called Sisters Lionheart. And I took the idea, a little bit of the sisters from Scheherazade and Dunyazad from the 1001 Nights, a little bit of the two sisters Rose Red and Rose White. I think Snow White and Rose Red from the Grimm's fairy tales, and then an abduction ballad. So here we go.
Do you want to teach the refrain?
Oh, yeah. Can I have a G? Oh. So again, you're welcome to sing along with the refrain, which is even simpler than the last one, but you don't have to. But feel free to jump in at any time, and it goes like this. Lie, 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 lo, lie, lo, lay, stranger stars to light my way. Lay, lo, lie, lo, lay, lie, lie, as I live, so let me die. Again, lie, 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 lo, lay, stranger stars to light my way. Lay, lo, lie, 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 as I live, so let me die. All right. Once a miner had two daughters, and they lived in Candletown. Kept their house and kept their garden, ne'er a spiteful word or frown. Lionheart, the town folk called them, different as the night from day. One like winter, one like springtime, ne'er two sisters loved as they. Lie, 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 lo, lay, stranger stars to light my way. Lay, lo, lay, lie, as I live, so let me die. Scheherazade, she was the eldest, thought the mind's a doleful hell. Dinarzade, she was the youngest, and she loved her Gabrielle. But on Candletown a curse fell, how it happened no one knew. Nightly wood its miners banished, beasts and women, children too. Lie, lie, lo, lay, stranger stars to light my way. Lay, lo, lay, as I live, so let me die. Scheherazade one eve espied him, as she walked along the track. Face of fox and tail of scorpion, with her sister on his back. Shouted she, be still, thou demon, think of deviltry and dread. Lay my sister in this meadow, take me on thy back instead. Lie, lie, lo, lay, stranger stars to light my way. Lay, lo, lay, as I live, so let me die. I am stronger than December, she is sweet as May is mild. Take me now, and not my sister, for she bears her lover's child. Up and spoke the flame-eyed demon.
One is meet, but better three. Three to work my pits and quarries. Dinarzade, her babe, and thee.
Lie, lie, lo, lay, stranger stars to light my way. Lay, lo, lay, as I live, so let me die. Brandish she a branch of fire, blinding in that dismal glen. Let her be, or be her pyre, I will never ask again.
I'll accept thy proposition. Thou hast proved a maid apart. See, I cede to thee thy sister, Scheherazade the Lionheart.
Lie, lie, lo, lay, stranger stars to light my way. Lay, lo, lay, as I live, so let me die. One remained, but one was taken, hurtled through the heavens far. One to dwell beneath a mountain, one upon a distant star. Scheherazade, she was the eldest, stolen by a fiend or god. Dinarzade, she was the youngest, named her daughter Scheherazade. Lie, lo, lay, stranger stars to light my way. Lay, lo, lay, as I live, so let me die. Every evening they remember, as their separate suns go down, how they loved and kept a garden long ago in Candle Town. Thank you. So going back to the very beginning, to the first EP, Electo Electo, which is 8 songs all about women in myth, or as you'll see here, women of ancient playwright fame. Lysistrata by Aristophanes always caught my fancy because she stopped a war with all her women friends by refusing to give men what they wanted. So I just really liked her, and I wanted to spotlight her because she's wonderful. Once a comic playwright named Aristophanes wrote about a woman who united ancient Greece. Stopped the war with Sparta, Lysistrata was her name. Teasing was her tactic, provocation was her game. Strut, 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 Lysistrata. Make the boys gasp like a fish out of water. Show them all you're more than just a mere inamorata. Strut, 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 Lysistrata. Gathered all her girls together, dressed in her best clothes. Even said for women, war decreed to be her foes. Told them too much combat lays a grievous waste to man. Have to stop this killing, girls, I think I got a plan. Strut, 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 Lysistrata. Refused to make his coffee or his favorite frittata. Renounced his war or be denounced, persona non grata. Strut, 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 Lysistrata. First we seize their treasure house, refuse the boys their coins. Then we cross our legs and put embargo on our loins. Assume a gown of yellow silk, perfume yourself to please, then grab him by his battle lance and bring him to his knees. Strut, 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 Lysistrata, like the other Homer said. Ooh boy, why I oughta. Don't get it through his skull and his medulla oblongata. Strut, 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 Lysistrata. The oracle has spoken, it is written in the stars. If we can join our forces, then this victory is ours. Hold the course and help us save our lovers and our lands. Pave the way for others who might need a helping hand. Strut, 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 Lysistrata. Inciting all this passion is igniting up our ardor. But if our way is hard, be sure then that'll be harder. Strut, 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 Lysistrata. Now, it's a new millennium, and still it seems to me, not all that much has changed since 411 BCE. So if you got a war to stop and want to win the day, skin down to your negligee, the Lysistrata way. Strut, strut, my sisters and my brothers, trans men and trans women, genderqueer and all the others. Shy flowers, world powers, throw back all your covers. Unite in revolutionizing fighters into lovers. Strut, 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 cause you gotta. Strut for truce and armistice and strut for Lysistrata. So, this next one is also from Electo Electo. It's one of the monsters of myth. Have you heard of Scylla and Charybdis? It's sort of like saying caught between a rock and a hard place, caught between these two monsters. Scylla is the lady monster, and she's so great. She's got like all these cat and dog heads and tails, and she's just a mess. But I like thinking of her as Rosemary Clooney in like a Muppet costume, sequins and a feather boa on a rock in the middle of the ocean with a player piano and a very doleful fish in a tuxedo. So like in my head, that's who's singing this, and you get me. So here we go.
Well,
First, there is a refrain. Again, this is even simpler than the last one, and you're not required to, but it's so fun if you do. It is just this. It's blub, 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 to a tune.
blub, 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 blub. Blub, 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 blub.
Blub, 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 blub.
Blub, 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 blub.
That's all there is. Maybe I've slain a few heroes. Maybe I've sucked at their bones. Gods know that I wrecked a few vessels to keep from despairing alone. Can't blame a lady for crying. Fate sure has dealt me some knocks. Strife may be better than dying, but life left me here on the rocks.
Let's blub, 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 blub. Blub, 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 blub. Blub, 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 blub. Blub, 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 blub.
Could be I made a few rivals, might have insulted a witch, quite possibly risked my survival to have an affair with a fish. Can't really say what induced me. It isn't the way that he talks.
Blub?
See how this fish guy reduced me. His love left me here on the rocks.
Everybody! Blub, 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 blub. Blub, 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 blub. Blub, 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 blub. Blub, 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 blub.
Now it's just me and my cat's tail, my 4 eyes and 12 legs in all. And that's not to mention my dog heads on 6 necks so slender and tall. Some girls are ravished by swan men, some are seduced by the ox, some will be wooed by the north wind. 'Twas a fish left me here on the rocks. 'Twas a fish left me here on the rocks. Thank you. Now the blubs have warmed you up for the final song of this set, where you don't have to blub anymore, but you could, if you wanted, jub jub. So you might recognize this as a slightly tinkered with nonsense rhyme by Lewis Carroll called the Jabberwocky. But I did it to make it a little more gender neutral, shall we say, and awesome. So when the time comes, I would ask some of you to, or all of you if you want, to do some jub jubbing with Carlos, and it goes like this.
So you all know We Will Rock You, right? Jump, 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 jump. And that's it. Just do that a lot while we do other stuff.
Carlos will bring you in on the jub jubs, and he'll stand a little bit back from the mic so that I'm not drowned out.
Oh.
But this is good to teach. We haven't worked with a microphone before, so we'll jub jub when he brings you in. But first, he'll give me a G. I wish I had perfect pitch. Wouldn't that be great?
Right.
The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax and cabbages and kings, and why the seas are boiling hot, and whether pigs have wings.
Jump, 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 jump.
Mimsy were the borogoves out among the slithy toves. Really 'twas every way today. Walking neath the tum-tum tree on Jabberwock struts up to me. Hey, you my manxome foe, I say.
Snicker, snicker, snack, snicker, snicker, snack, snack. Snicker, snicker, snack, snicker, snicker, snack, snack. Snicker, snicker, snack, snicker, snicker, snack, snack. Snicker, snicker, snack, snack, snicker, snack.
Glumpy, hear my Jabberwock, come and taste my vorpal sword out in the tulgey wood today. Here I beam your buoyant nave, blade in hand, my eyes aflame. Let us all sing out Callooh Calais. Let us all sing out Callooh. Gyre and Jimble in the wabe. Let us all sing out Callooh. Moan my raps, won't you add brave? Let us all sing out Callooh. Hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Let us all sing out Callooh. Caught 'em in thy claws and catch. Let us all sing out Callooh Calais. Let us all sing out Callooh Calais. It doesn't really matter one way or another, one way or another. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, because now our show is over, and thanks so much for coming in. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter one way or another. And Carlos on percussion, and it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter one way or another, one way or another. It doesn't really matter. It's nonsense. Thank you so much, everyone. If you want to hear any more music, it's on Bandcamp at Brimstone, Rhine. Bandcamp, Brimstone, Rhine. Thank you so much.